So just ask.
Sim, you're asking the question. Sim, it's you.
Yeah. Okay, so if you had one item that could cost £1 for the rest of your life, what would that item be?
One item that could cost £1 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with some sort of food.
I'm gonna go with petrol.
Yeah.
I use so much fuel to get around. Imagine it costing £1. Yeah. I'm gonna go.
But you need food to live.
I hear you, but I think I always spend. Yeah, fuel. I could go anywhere then for cheap.
On the cheap. What about flights?
Oh man.
So I did think of that, but I wouldn't fly every day, innit? Like, whereas I use my car every day.
You could.
You could if it's
You
£1.
could. You're right. You could. We'll stick with fuel.
Yeah. Ethan, what's yours?
I'm thinking of food, but can it be like any food, or just all food in general? Like
Up to you.
Like,
Is there one food in particular?
No, just any kind of food.
Yeah, if it's all food,
because you get sick of one if you had one food, you get sick of it, wouldn't you?
All food. So all your
food,
whole shopping.
Yeah.
Each item would cost £1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're going for.
I think I figured out what I would want.
If you take mine, I'm going to be so angry. So I'm thinking about it all the way here.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Because everything we're talking about is essentials, right? It makes sense. That's what you would go towards straight away. But all of these things cost money normally. So if I could have £1 for something that could generate money, like a lot, just for £1. Let's say if I could buy a bank or something like that, just for £1 and own it, and I can just keep doing that, then I wouldn't have to worry about petrol and food because I'll be a billionaire.
Yeah, that's clever.
So I'm gonna go with that. I changed my mind. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay. Let's start the episode now because now mine just sounds silly. I was gonna say my mortgage.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
I could pay my mortgage.
But your mortgage could be any mortage for any house after that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking on a bigger scale. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm thinking.
Yeah, mine seems silly now.
Sorry.
Nah, your one's alright because your food for £1
we
is
need
sick.
it. Yeah.
You always want to eat, but
any food, any food,
that's
sick.
good.
Okay.
I've got another question. I think.
Go
on then.
I think so. Yeah. In like the world we live in right now, I was thinking about this one when I was driving, and you got like the cancel culture kind of thing. Yeah. Is cancel culture something that should be seen as like keeping people in check, like a good thing, or is it more as a threat to people being able to express themselves? I haven't worded it great, but that's kind of what I've been thinking about when I was driving. I was like, there's a cancel culture now, and I was thinking about, obviously we do a podcast and we talk about many things, and it's some things we avoid speaking about, you know, and whether that's the cancel culture, you know, in the back of our heads or not, I'm not sure. But then I thought to myself, there's so many other things people talk about and are in that they probably hesitate now because there's a cancel culture. But is that a good thing to keep people in check so that they're not saying some crazy stuff? Or has it been more of a threat to people expressing themselves completely?
I think the society we live in now, we're so scared of offending anyone.
Yeah.
And so now we use the cancel culture. Anything that I don't agree with, although it's not a valid point, it could be your opinion or your feelings or something, only because I don't agree with it, I'm going to cancel you.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go for it's stopping people expressing themselves. But some people do deserve to get cancelled.
Yeah.
Some people just need to get off. Like, I don't want to say them. I don't know if I can.
The cancel culture right now. Say it.
What is it? Blueface and get them off my side. I'm sick of seeing them. I'm sick of seeing them. Cancel them just because they're wrong.
How people like that become famous?
I have no idea.
But again, that goes into the people feed into that nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, just giving them airtime and stuff like that to just be idiots.
Yeah.
Like,
just tattooed your face.
That's insane.
It's
insane.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ethan?
Yeah.
Yeah. All that.
Yeah. It's a tricky one because I get, like, obviously there are some things, like you said, people do need to be cancelled.
Yeah.
Some, but I do feel like it's more on the other side than it is on the side where people probably deserve it.
It definitely stops people speaking their mind more.
Yes.
openly and publicly.
The thing is, everyone should say their mind, shouldn't they? But-
Yeah.
This is
But
it.
then
Or you should at least have the freedom to, but
Yeah.
They say freedom of
but
speech.
still, there should
yeah.
be there's got to be limits on what everyone says.
And
Yeah.
what are those
How
limits?
do you police
Yeah.
freedom of
How do
speech?
you
Yeah.
police that?
And who polices it? Like what makes
Society.
your cancel culture better than like my saying my cancel culture? You know what I mean?
Well, we can get deep on that
Yeah.
because there's people who don't agree with people's lifestyles and life choices. You know, why should it only be one side should have the mic and not the other side? Like what deems is who polices it and what's right and what's wrong? It's a good question.
Yeah.
And I know we're even still doing it now. We're still kind of like I'm saying things without
Putting
saying
around
it.
it. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But ultimately, it's I don't know if I like the cancel culture.
I think ultimately it comes down to who shouts the loudest and who has the most following.
Do you think people now play into the cancel culture just for
For a
extra
platform.
views
Yeah,
and
100%.
extra?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Hugely.
Yeah.
People are
Hugely,
sheep.
hugely.
Lots of people are sheep.
Yeah.
Like, they'll follow this person who's got 100,000 followers says that's cancelled. Oh yeah, cool. They said it. Let's do that. They'll
Yeah.
follow it just to jump on the bandwagon and they'll run with it.
Or do you see people like they have a big platform? If I come at that person, I'm going to get publicity for coming at that person. Therefore, I'm going to up my own platform.
You're gonna kind of take a shortcut in
Yeah.
some ways, right?
Yeah.
By stepping on someone else,
Just close.
technically.
Yeah.
Man, humans are, listen, I will always say, humans are the most interesting things on this
Yeah,
planet.
true.
People are just different.
Mm.
But anyway, so, welcome back, everybody. Obviously, you know who it is. Myself, Sean, you got Simi, you got Wonder over there. And you've got a special guest here, Ethan. I mean, I'm not going to make you tell us about yourselves, but the reason why Ethan's here today is because Ethan's had a different upbringing to, I would say, most people that I've known in my whole life. And I know quite a lot of people. And
Mr. Friends.
what I was thinking about bringing Ethan here was one, to kind of educate people, more for me to find out as well. And I guess for you, as a platform to kind of express, you know, what journey you've had to even get here. So, you know, this is safe zone, as I always say. I mean, how would I start this? You were born where exactly?
Devon, Honiton, Devon.
Yeah.
On like a farm. Middle of nowhere.
And what was like the community? There was like a community there, right?
So it's a community. So there's like about 50 people living in a big farmhouse on like a farm, like in the countryside. They bake bread. They've got cafes and stuff like that for income. They all sort of work together and live together and eat together, do everything together.
So, like, growing up, that's the norm for you. When did you find out that there was an outside world?
I think like from a pretty early age, I knew there was something else. I knew like we'd grown up different to everyone else. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
How? How did
obviously
you
you
find
see
out?
other people. You see people in the outside world. Obviously they've got cafe. They've got a tea room as well.
Oh,
So you have like visitors come there to see like what it's about, and they obviously try recruiting people through that as well.
yeah. So,
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
People to what?
Recruiting
Yeah.
people to their community because they want like more people to join. So like everything they do is to recruit more people, or
Okay.
like whoever they meet, they're gonna try to get them to live there.
Live
Okay.
on
On
the
the farm.
Yeah, on the farm, and in future, obviously they want more farms as well. They want
Okay.
more complexes like this where
oh,
everyone
and to
lives together.
get that, you need more people.
Exactly,
Okay.
and
Ah.
people bringing the farms as well. So let's say someone joins who's got a farm, then
Then
they take it
they-
over.
they take it over.
Okay.
Ah.
So
That's
wait.
interesting.
Whoa. I'm not confused.
Yeah,
I've
we've
been
been-
like, wait, what? Okay. So you're born on a farm, and the community, like, is it like an Amish kind of community
Yeah.
where? Okay.
It's quite similar to Amish, but
Okay.
they do use some technology. I think like Amish people, they don't use any like internet or nothing.
Okay.
But obviously the place where I'm from, we use internet, but obviously not like social media and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we don't all have phones.
Okay.
Just use them for like literally just for phone calls, like
Okay.
if you're going out and stuff like that. But yeah, I grew up without a phone. Like I literally
Till how old?
so I left when I was 18.
Definitely 18. Is that
Yeah,
when
so-
you get the choice to leave? Or...
Yeah, well, that's basically when it's legal to as well.
Okay.
And so like as long as you're under 18, you're under your parents' guardianship,
Yeah.
and you so
Do what you-
you haven't
when-
got much choice.
Wow.
but to stay
Okay.
there.
That's mad.
And is there a name for the community?
Yeah, they're called the 12 tribes.
Okay.
12 tribes.
12 tribes. Why that? Why 12 tribes?
It's a biblical thing because in the Bible there's 12 sons of Jacob,
Mhm.
and they all had their own tribes. Like they had families, and then they became like tribes in the end. So if you obviously if you were familiar with the Bible,
Mhm.
it's just 12 tribes. That's what they call themselves now.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
yeah,
so there is actually 12 tribes around the world.
Mhm.
But each tribe's got like more communities. So you'll have like one tribe, like so they've all got different regions of like the world
Yeah.
that they're
Okay.
supposed to occupy. So the tribe that I was from, like they occupy like all of England, all Scandinavia, like Belgium, stuff
So
like
we're
that.
talking, like,
Ireland.
thousands and thousands of people.
And they're all doing
No,
the same
that's
thing.
that's just their territory. So when they do branch out, like that tribe.
That's where they will go to. Oh, okay.
So
And
you're
they're all
Go
doing.
on.
Sorry, they're all doing the same thing as
Yeah.
like actively
yeah,
recruiting
they all do
people.
the same thing.
So
Well,
we're saying
actively recruit people.
your tribe, so UK, Scandinavia, they
Yeah.
couldn't move to say like France or something.
No, because wherever you're from, when like say you're French, then you'd go to the one in
In
France.
France. Cool.
So you basically go back to your birthplace.
This is what I honestly, and
It's
we haven't
so-
even got
yeah.
into it yet, and I'm already like, it's. Imagine for us, and we're gonna take it away from you for 1 second, Ethan. Imagine, I mean, we come from a generation of not growing up with phones anyway, to some degree, yeah? So we can kind of relate to some level.
Yeah.
But it was never a case of us not having or not knowing about certain
Yeah.
things because of a certain rule or
Yeah.
where you're from. It was more, obviously, technology wasn't that when we were at that age.
Yeah.
But like it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It's a whole different kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, and this is one question I really wanted to ask you about, and I think I've kind of hesitated because obviously we've met before. But what would a day in your
Yeah.
life be like? From from waking up to go and sleep. I know it may not be the same, but just give me an idea of what that looks like.
So they first of all like waking up, like you wake up at all different times. To be fair, like they ran a bakery, so you'd have to be up early for the doughs and stuff like that as well. Because I worked in that a lot growing up, so I'd be up at like crazy times, like from the age of 15 or something like that to 16.
What time?
Waking up at like 1 in the morning, stuff like that.
Oh my
To
God.
work.
To work,
Wow.
to get the doughs on. Like we do a lot of work. To be fair, like it's flat out work all the time. So yeah. Anyway, you wake up. They have a morning gathering. So like everyone from that community will go there, and they do some like dancing, singing, like prayers and stuff like that.
And what
And
time's that? Sorry.
So that's at 7 o'clock every morning.
Okay. So from like
so
1 to
everyone's up
7,
till
you're
7,
doing
yeah.
the dough.
Yeah.
You're prepping.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ah, you're just awake,
you're up.
working,
Yeah,
1 to
working,
7.
mate,
Damn.
working,
It's a
yeah.
full day already,
And
man.
then you're going to
That's a night shift.
the
Yeah.
ceremony.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
And
So
then that
you go
lasts
to the
for
ceremony lasts for like it's like an hour or an hour and a half. Everyone sort of like it's basically like a meeting, so everyone just goes there and like says things and like shares whatever they want to say. And then you do breakfast, so everyone, like we all eat together as well, like a big hall, and everyone eats breakfast, and then we all just get on with our day, and we meet back up for lunchtime. We all eat together for lunchtime as well, and then obviously go back to work. There's an evening gathering as well, which is 7 o'clock.
when you
Okay.
say
So
go
12
back,
hours
when you say
work.
go back to work,
The
like
cafes and
Yeah, like
bakeries
it'll be
and stuff.
farm work, cafes. It wouldn't be like normal jobs.
Yeah.
It'll be like just working for their infrastructure, like their
for the community.
their businesses. They run construction businesses. I did a lot of like chopping wood growing up because we had a big like wood fire that heated the whole place. So I used to spend all my time chopping wood.
Wow.
So he's a strong,
Yeah.
he's a
Strong
strong
shoulders,
guy.
yeah.
He's a strong
Yeah,
dude.
literally.
When it comes to the jobs, do you get allocated jobs, or do you go? Actually, I kind of fancy doing bakery. I'm going to go into the bakery, and they say okay.
Yeah, no, it's basically allocated. You don't have
You don't
any
get a
choice what you
choice.
do. No,
Okay.
not
So-
at all.
So is there a leader?
There's like
Like a
they call
democracy,
it like
like-
a council of
Okay,
like people.
cool.
So there's like 3 to 4 people they're like in a council and they have like a meeting every week.
And they like voted in, or they're just like the elders.
They're
how's
they're
that
the
work?
you could say they're voted in, but they're not really voted in because it's more of like a I don't know. It's like a faith thing, and like it's all to do with I don't even know how to describe it. It's all to do with like faith. So it's not like they're voted in.
So is it kind of like, it's going to sound really silly, but you are the chosen one?
Yeah, literally.
Is
like
it?
the chosen one, yeah.
Look how excited you are.
You're the chosen one, yeah.
Is it?
Chosen one.
Wow, you imagine being the chosen one. Like,
Yeah.
So how much is this community based off? Like, obviously, you said it started with the 12 tribes.
Bible.
Yeah, the Bible and just religious
Yeah, so
kind of
they,
studies
yeah,
and things like that.
they say like everything's based off the Bible, but there's a lot of things that they've mixed in, like their own traditions, their
Okay.
own ways of doing stuff. But it all is all based off the Bible.
Okay.
It's all based off the Bible.
So,
wow.
so back to your day. So you woke up at 1.
Yeah.
AM.
You've been working until 6, 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to the ceremony for an hour. You then go back to work.
Go back to work. Normally, I had like an afternoon nap. Like,
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
you are allowed that.
I was
Okay,
trying to
cool.
find where the nap
Obviously,
time
yeah.
was, boy.
I'm trying to
no,
figure
no,
that
you're
out.
allowed to
By the
sleep.
time 7 in the
Yo.
evening comes,
I'm
you're not
just telling
seeing
you,
me.
I'm just telling you my typical
Yeah.
day. Like,
Yeah,
from probably
typical
like
day.
from the age of 16 to about 18 when I left. That's what I did every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
And then so
Um,
you'd work you have the afternoon lunch, and then
Work
you'd
till
work
7.
from the afternoon part till 7
till 7, yeah.
p.m.
PM, and then you all have a group gathering.
Right.
But there's always people working. Like it's like obviously they run a deli. It's called the Yellow Deli. It's just a cafe, and it's open 24 hours. Well,
Oh.
it's actually not 24 hours, but it's basically 24 hours. Like it closes at 11, opens back up at 7, I think. But it's supposed to be 24 hours. They just couldn't get the licensing for it.
Oh.
But yeah, but obviously some people work through it as well because you obviously still need to man the cafe.
So after you do the 7 p.m., then what do you do? I know you'll probably be tired.
Yeah.
I can imagine you're tired, but like I'm not
Normally
hearing
go
it
back
like.
to work. There's normally more stuff to do. You eat dinner and then.
So you
carry on.
eat and work.
There's no like
You eat and
social
work
life
and
or
work.
anything.
Yeah. That's
No,
that's
like
what I'm
social
kind of
life,
There is
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of social life because everyone works together, so it is quite social. Like it's like a complex as well. So there's like people doing stuff everywhere. Even when you're at a cafe, like you're working with the
speaking.
people that you live with.
Yeah,
all
you're
the
speaking
day.
with
So
people.
is well social, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
So I'm just trying to relate back to us as well. Like when we were younger, if we had a job between 16 and 18, we could choose not to turn up to work.
yeah,
You just wouldn't. But I'm assuming because you're in the community, you don't have the choice not
no,
to turn
not
up to
really.
work unless you're really
unless
ill.
you're ill or something, and then
Mm.
like obviously you're allowed time off, but you don't really have the choice. Like saying, "Oh, I don't feel up for it today."
Because they'll
Like,
come get you and get
I
you to
don't know,
work.
they'll
Or...
just be like, "Yeah, you got to work, mate. You got to work."
Oh,
So
Wow.
Mad.
there was punishment then, I'm guessing, right?
Or consequences.
Or
We don't do
consequence.
punishments.
consequences.
Cancel
They
culture.
do
Cancel
that.
culture gonna kill me. Yeah, shit. Let's edit that bit out. I said consequences. Why are you got your camera in that? Why has she got her camera in her hand, bro? I'm saying edit it. And she's like, yeah. Anyways, it's gonna get edited from here, whatever timestamp it
Absolutely
is.
not.
I said consequences. So are there consequences to not doing certain things?
Well, like when you're young, they obviously spank their kids.
All right, yeah.
So that would be the consequence for probably until you're about 10 or 11, 12. And
But I had consequences when I
Yeah.
was younger than
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
bro.
Actually, last year.
So,
no,
sorry,
that's until you're 10 or 11, 12. So that'd be
Oh.
from day one.
So,
Yeah,
so to
literally.
carry on from that, so obviously, I was come from a time when I got spanked and stuff now.
Yeah.
Do they still do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
okay.
still...
I was gonna say
Because obviously
we,
in our
yeah,
society now, that's
No.
quite frowned
Yeah.
on. Like,
don't hit your
they
job.
turn up in
Well-
school with marks and will say, where'd you get the marks from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's still something that's...
Oh, good point. Actually, what happens with education?
They're all homeschooled. So I was homeschooled, yeah.
Hey.
So
all
like,
together or just your family?
Yeah, all together. So they
Yeah.
have like classes.
So it's like school, but
yeah, it's like
on
school.
the community.
Yeah. But
Okay,
obviously, there's not as
interesting.
many kids. So I
Yeah,
was in
yeah.
a class of about 5 kids, and they just take whatever age group and put them together.
Oh,
They have they've got their own curriculum as well.
Interesting.
Do they?
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah,
what
so
about
there's no
exams?
GCSEs or nothing like that, which is a bit peak because
I was going to say, then what happens when you go into the real world?
nothing?
Then,
Well, you're not meant to, I guess.
Yeah, you're
You're not
basically-
meant to.
oh, you're meant to stay in the
You're
community
meant
for
to stay
life.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where
the
your
idea.
curriculum's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
make its
Right.
matter.
Yeah, they only
Makes
teach you the
sense.
skills to use in the commune.
in
Yeah.
That's
It's so
It's,
different.
and I feel like we'd be like, so,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, no, I know.
I feel
I'm sorry,
bad.
sorry,
But
Lisa. I
actually,
am trying to not.
the one thing it's very self-sustainable
Yeah.
within like a structure of life, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you're living
Very
off the
interesting,
land as
yeah.
well, kinda. I'm guessing.
Yeah. They try to live off the land as much as they can.
As much as they can, yeah.
And I suppose if you think about it, in past episodes, we've talked about like if like the cyber world was ever meant to go
Yeah.
down, would have to go back to
What
basics,
we
and
do.
you would
They'd
be
set
absolutely
up-
Oh,
fine.
they'd be like, yo,
You'd
that'd
be
be
going
so
back
cool.
to basics
Yeah.
because you know
Yeah.
how to do
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like
Chop wood.
Yeah.
Bro, I wouldn't
They're
even know.
basically self-sufficient. Like they wouldn't really need to go to the shops at all because they
course.
grow all their own food. Like
Exactly.
obviously, when they get bigger, they want their own farms. They're gonna have all their own animals as well.
And then
so
you can have meat and
so
all that
meat
other
and
stuff.
milk
Pros
Yeah.
and cons, guys. Pros
There
and
are.
cons.
It's in
It's
life
cool,
always.
like that aspect of it is quite cool. Like,
Yeah.
just living off the land and stuff like that. I love the farming side of it as well. It was well fun growing up.
And do you live somewhere now that's quite rural, or have you
No,
gone?
it's not. It's just a town.
like
it's,
city
it's a
life?
normal town. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just converted to city life to be honest.
Was that hard?
Just I did miss the farming a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, that's all you.
Definitely,
That's all
Yeah.
you knew, right?
Yeah, but I do get used to it, and I think now I'm more of a city person than a farm person.
Yeah.
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 The city life can do that to you
Well,
quickly.
yeah, like obviously it worked back then when I was growing up because we didn't have phones or anything, but it is quite boring. Like when you see what else there is to life, like
Yeah.
there's a lot more.
So,
Than,
touching on that, like, what happened for you to decide, you know, this
that I
is
wanted
it?
to live.
And how did you do it?
Yeah,
Because it doesn't sound like this was something that you could just go and say, "Hey, I'm leaving,
No,
guys,"
it was,
and
it
they'd be
was
like, "Okay,
tricky.
see you later." Doesn't sound
Yeah.
like it was that.
Yeah,
So,
no.
like, talk me through like that part. Like,
Well,
what
I'd say
happened?
like the idea of leaving, like I had that idea from a very early age, like probably 9 or something.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I always thought about like, oh, maybe I'll just leave when I get older.
Was that because you just knew there was more? There was else,
Yeah.
even though you didn't know it, because at that time
No,
you
and
probably not
also
seen
growing
it.
up, I was just like, I think it's normal that wherever you are, you want something better.
Yes.
Obviously, I didn't know what I was in for either, so it was more of a curiosity thing. Like, I just wanted to see what it was about.
Yeah, it was worth finding out than not.
100%.
And had anyone, prior to you thinking, I want to get out of it, had you experienced anyone else saying, actually, I'm going to go and leave? Or people that attempted to leave and
Yeah.
couldn't leave?
Well, most of the time it's quite easy to leave, but they just strongly oppose it. Like they'll tell you loads of things, but obviously you're free to go. But at the same time, you're not free because they're like, if you say I want to leave, they'll give you like they'll get you in a meeting or something like that, and they'll talk to you for ages and be like, well, if you leave, like you're basically, I don't know.
Ruining
You're
your life.
gonna be
you're
you're gonna see
You're
consequences.
gonna see consequences, mate. It's gonna go bad for you. Blah 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 blah.
So it's
Ah.
So
like
they turn you,
scaremongering.
yeah, a
Yes.
little bit.
So what
I'd
steps-
say there's an aspect of
Okay.
that.
So what
It's not
steps
complete
did you
scaremongering.
take to actually leave then? So when you had to do it.
So when I left, I tried running away a few times actually. growing up, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I tried running away when I was 17.
Talk to us about it.
And then they
Yeah.
sort of
Elaborate, please.
Yeah, but we
Elaborate.
are so in this,
It's
man.
so long ago.
How old are you now?
21.
Okay, cool.
So it's not actually been that long.
No, I've only been out for 2 years.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you
So you
first
tried to run away.
So
First tried to run away at
I'm
17.
trying to remember.
I don't know why. I've got this
first
image
time
of like the baker, the van's coming in. He's like, just jump in the back and just
Yeah,
wait
right.
there. I'm like, I'm gonna get out of here. You know what I mean? But I'm sure it wasn't
Oh,
like that.
man.
It
I'm
was
sure.
like that, mate. It's literally like that.
Was it?
Oh yeah. The time I actually ran away, I left in the middle of the night. I packed all my bags.
You'd
I
have
left
to
it.
though.
I
You'd
left
have
at
to.
12 o'clock, mate.
Before you had to get up at 1.
Yeah, literally, mate.
Oh, he knew. He
I
knew you had
knew.
an hour.
I knew if I was gonna leave, mate, I ain't gonna get up at 1 o'clock.
Clever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the least amount of work in, mate.
Yeah, get out before you start your job,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, man.
Doing that shit.
That's mad.
So you get up at 12. You've
Yeah.
obviously been planning this. Like
yeah,
you've
yeah.
been
Planning
really
for a
thinking
long
and
time,
seeing. Well, tell us.
Yeah,
You
take
tell
us
us.
through
You
it.
Yeah,
tell
no,
us.
I've been planning for ages. To be fair, like when's I escape? I was talking to a mate as well. Like I've got a friend who's like a year younger than me. He left with me. He's actually living down with me now.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
nice.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, we always talked about like leaving, growing up. We're like, yeah, we'll get out of here one day. Like we got to plan our escape. So we planned the whole we planned the whole escape, and then it was funny as fuck though because it was a Sunday, yeah, when we escaped, and obviously there's no buses. So we're like, yeah, we'll jump on a bus.
And you
didn't
know
know
that.
that.
You
No.
didn't know
No,
that.
I didn't
that's-
think that, mate. I wasn't even thinking. I was just like, yeah, I'll jump on a bus. But I forgot it was a Sunday.
I'm sorry.
So I'm stuck in the countryside, yeah, with like miles to walk to the nearest
Yeah,
place.
of course,
Literally
course.
miles.
And I'm assuming you get paid a wage.
No, you don't get paid. No one gets paid. So they got a common pot. So all the money they make just basically goes into a common pot, and then they get whatever they need out of it.
Then how did you get money to when you escaped? Did you
Well,
just?
I didn't really
to
have
take
money.
it?
Or like clothes.
Didn't have money.
anything.
I didn't actually have. I had nothing. Literally nothing. I packed like the clothes that I needed, and that was it. But yeah, I had nothing. I had no contacts either. I did manage to get a phone, so I was trying to find like people that I may know on Facebook and stuff like that. Just searching for places to go. But I literally barely had a plan because obviously it's hard to make other contacts when you're still there.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, but when we left, this is back to the original story.
Yeah.
When we left, we couldn't get a bus, so we started walking through the countryside, and we're trying to avoid all the main roads because we know they'd be like driving around.
So they do come out and look for you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh.
So they're driving around. They're driving around looking for us. We're sticking to all like the footpaths and walking through the woods and stuff. And then, bearing in mind it's like 3-4 in the morning.
But this is
pitch
a movie,
black.
bro.
This is a
And
movie.
And then,
bro.
Oh my god, my heart is racing.
yeah, and then we happened to stumble across them. Like, they happened to see us, so they started chasing us down the road with a van. And we just kept on walking, mate. They're just like
They're just
driving
driving
beside
behind.
us,
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, get in the van. Like we got to talk to you and this and that. And then we're like, no, we're not getting in. And then eventually they got our parents. So our parents drove down, and so yeah, I still talked to my parents, and
I'm guessing they weren't too happy, obviously.
no, they weren't too happy. But it's hard to tell your parents, isn't it?
Yeah,
You want
no,
to leave.
yeah.
They want you there the whole
Of
time.
course, of course.
Obviously, I still love my parents. Like,
Yes.
they're everything. But yeah, it was just hard telling them that I wanted to leave. And obviously, they had to accept it in the end. So yeah, they talked to me for like a few days, and then obviously my dad rang up a family member to see if I could go stay with him for a while.
Yeah. That's good. That's
So
good.
yeah,
At least they didn't make it
No, they
more
didn't drop-
difficult.
No.
You know,
But they're
that's
probably
nice.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
nice.
And so
It's not
when,
like I
when you
ended up homeless.
when you
Mm.
escaped, they
Thanks.
never really physically. They would never physically
No.
drag someone back to
Nah.
like. Okay, cool. So
No, they wouldn't
if
physically.
if they like pulled up in the
Nah.
van and you was
Just
like, no, I'm not
emotionally.
coming, I'm carry on. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
no,
they
no,
would
no.
just try and talk
So,
to you.
and I think there's that
Okay, cool.
misconception.
Yeah, which is what I'm
because
trying to-
if before
It's
I met
all a
you,
mental thing. It's not a physical
it's all
thing.
meant
Like, they
because
wouldn't-
I would think that was the
That they
case.
drag
Before
you in
I,
the van.
before I spoke to you, before I met you, I would have thought that's the case. If you
Yeah.
were to try and escape
Yeah.
anything like that,
Yeah.
you're getting grabbed back
Yeah.
and you're going
Yeah.
to have consequences.
As soon as man said we turned up with the van, I said,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I knew if I did go back, like I'd have no freedom there because obviously I tried to run away then. Like, there'd be
Oh, so
nothing
they
there.
met-
Oh,
It'd be
they
peace.
come
So
down.
the surveillance 100 like
Yeah.
start to finish.
24/7
Like wake up,
surveillance,
someone's looking at you.
yeah,
Go to bed,
literally,
someone's
mate.
looking at you.
You can't even go to the bathroom, mate.
Yeah.
I had
Like, are you
times
done?
where- I
Oh,
had
I
times.
should laugh.
You're done, mate.
Oh,
So
man.
that
I
was
had
the final
times.
time that you tried to escape, right?
That was the
Yeah.
first.
That
was the third time I tried to
And-
escape.
was that.
I had times
successful?
before that where I was like, at the end of the day, yeah, I'll come back then because they talked me into it.
Yeah.
So I came back, and I remember I had no freedom. My dad had to stay with me 24/7. I was stuck in my
No.
room,
That's
in
horrible, man.
quarantine for ages.
So there is a consequence.
There is
There is
consequence.
a
Of course.
consequence.
Just not what we thought it
No.
might
Yeah,
have been.
you're grounded.
But
No.
as you
There
said,
is-
it's more psychological
Yeah, yeah,
consequences,
definitely, yeah.
which can hurt.
Very psychological.
But we just like give props to the fact that you were 17, 18
Mm.
and you tried to, like, when we're young, we're like, I'm
listen.
packing my bags and I'm
All
leaving
right,
home.
all right,
And then you
all
get up the road and it's
You're
like,
nah.
or you oversleep.
you're like, nah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah,
going to
that
leave at
happened
12
once as well.
o'clock.
That happened once.
Yeah.
I overslept. Another time, like I got to the end of the road, I was like, nah, I don't know where to go.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 But that,
Yeah.
Funny.
as someone at such a young age, that takes a hell of a lot of
Oh,
strength.
Yeah.
Because everything you've known, and you don't know anything that's to come after that, but you
I was
knew
just like,
that you
why
wanted
not?
to get
What-
out.
Yeah, what have
Yeah.
I got to lose? I'm like, yeah, I just may as well do it.
Damn.
Bro, like I said when we met
See
before,
what's
you're
about, yeah.
a lot of like courage and bravery
That's
to,
it.
to be able to do that because
Yeah.
you're literally going into the unknown
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a mad one.
and you know there's consequences.
Yeah, if you come back
for doing it.
Well, yeah, it's
you
like
know.
that because I knew like from the point I did actually leave, like it would be either way. Like I either go back and it would be like really bad for me.
Or you go and it could
I
be
go,
bad
and
too.
It could be
Yeah.
bad too, or it could be good.
That's mad.
Do you
Yeah.
regret it?
No, I don't think I regret it at all.
Good.
Because I think I never would have. Just me as a person as well. Like I wouldn't have been able to stay there and just not just be able to like live there for the rest of my life, not knowing what there is out in the outside world to experience.
Yeah.
I just like experiencing new things. So
I mean, that's
We
what
all do, man.
yeah.
I think life is kind of
Yeah.
about that, though, isn't it? In some ways.
I need freedom. Like I can't just be,
We're not
told
made
what
to be
do, you know
in a
what I mean?
cage.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
made for it. We're really not. And whether that's a physical cage or
Mental.
whatever kind of
Yeah.
mental
Mental,
cage,
emotionally, yeah.
because that's what they are sometimes, man.
Well,
But
yeah, it is more of a mental, emotional sort of thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
all your family's there, which I do miss a lot, my
Yeah.
family, and I'm not allowed no contact with them now.
Oh,
which
that
is-
was
You're
gonna
not
be my
allowed
question,
to go
so I was-
back
that was-
and
yeah.
not go back to join
was-
the community, but you're not allowed to go back and see them.
Nah.
And
Not even like
no,
on the
I'm
phone.
not allowed
like,
to see
you
my
don't have
siblings.
phones.
I can see my parents. I've seen them now and then. But I've got to like drive down there. It's long. But I talk to them. I talk to my parents on the phone sometimes.
let's
But yeah,
Take a
all
break
my
on
siblings.
that
yeah,
one.
let's
Yeah.
let's take a break on that
Yeah.
one. We'll come back to it.
yeah,
But yeah, let's take a little quick break. So, obviously, we spoke a lot about you trying to escape and life there and your day-to-day life. Let's like try and understand a bit more about now. You've stepped out of that world. You've now stepped into this whole new big world that you've seen a little bit maybe on the internet or heard about. You know, you said your dad helped you find a place with a family member.
Yeah.
So you go. You've never met this person before, right?
Nah.
Have you even spoken to this person before?
Yeah. He came. It's funny enough. It's Joe's dad. Yeah.
Makes sense. So you go and you stay with him, and I mean, what happens first, man? Because like the world's kind of your oyster now in some ways.
literally. Yeah, in a lot of ways the world's your oyster, but in a lot of ways you don't have any tools to get anywhere you. I didn't even have a passport. I had
What?
to sort out my passport. Like I couldn't get a bank account, so I
Of
got
course
my
you didn't have a
passport.
passport. Of course.
Yeah, it took me like 2 months to do anything because I had to
God.
apply for a passport and then I had to apply for a
For
during
national
lockdown
insurance?
as well.
Oh, was
so,
it?
so
During
yeah, so
lockdown?
it was
Oh,
it was
wow.
so bad getting passports as well because they were backlogged. So it took me like 6 months to get a passport or something crazy like that. No, not even. Not actually. It wasn't that bad, but it was like 8 weeks. I
That's
think.
crazy, man.
But yeah, it was long. And
no
then,
one was going nowhere.
And then
Yeah.
once I got a passport, I could finally get like my bank account sorted out and then get a job. And I came down here to get a job because I couldn't find a job back there.
How did you know about getting a bank account? I know
don't
it sounds like a silly thing.
no,
but, like,
it's true. Yeah,
like, how would you know to get that?
Well, just what you've been told, innit? And what like obviously you ain't totally isolated, so you know like sort of like what you got to do. Just figured it out,
You've
basically.
been planning, obviously, so you probably
Yeah.
had to figure out
Yeah,
some other stuff
literally.
when you actually made it happen.
sorry.
No,
when
no.
you went to go stay with your dad's
Family member.
a family member,
Yeah.
did he advise you in any way of being like, right, okay, this is what you need to do to slot in?
Yeah. He did help me a lot to be
Yeah.
fair, yeah.
And that probably guided you
Yeah,
on
it
like
was
what you
good,
needed
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Did you
But no help from my parents whatsoever, like nothing.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get my birth certificate, mate. It took me
Oh,
ages.
wow.
It was so long.
But
It
was
so
that because
long.
more of the thing of
You'd
you've
left.
kind of left
Yeah,
us?
they didn't want to help
in
me.
the-
They were
yeah.
hoping I'd come back, sort of thing. So
Okay.
they weren't up for helping.
So how did you go about
So,
that?
Well, how,
Like getting
how-
all your birth certificate? How did
Well,
you
I
prove-
asked for them. It took them ages to email it over, and then eventually they sent me the hard copy in the mail, but it just took long to get.
Okay.
But
And
yeah, I
so-
did get it in the end.
Obviously, you've now moved. You're in this now new wider world.
Yeah.
Obviously, your schooling. You saying that you didn't do qualifications and stuff like that. So how
No.
do you go about finding work and stuff?
Yeah. Well, literally, it was only word of mouth. And I got a job with a roofing company, so they basically take on anyone. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like,
They needed.
well, anyone
labour.
can go.
Anybody
there
who's
to
good
work.
with
You would have
anything.
told them
Yeah,
I've been chopping
with
wood.
their
man.
hands.
You're
Yeah.
strong. You're strong. So they were like, okay,
Anybody
we
who's
should go
good
get
at
him.
the craft.
What qualification you got? No,
Yeah.
but let me show you how to chop wood.
Yeah, But I will say, like, I wish I had got like a proper education. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
It would have been nice just having A levels, not even A levels, just whatever the grades to get into any job.
That's deep.
Because
Yeah.
if I was to apply for a job now, it would be hard, wouldn't it?
Of course, I didn't even think of that. Of course,
yeah.
like we're joking about it, but ultimately, yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
you've got no background, nothing.
when I mean, I'm trying to think of. I used to do recruitment. I looked at a CV and it said I'm, 21, and I haven't been to school and I haven't worked. I'll be like, bro, what is this?
Exactly.
You would.
You wouldn't even get an
off the
interview
face,
about
off
it.
the face,
Yeah,
and that's
you've got to
wrong.
fill out those fields just to get an interview.
Exactly. More time, what in terms of like people looking for jobs and recruiters looking for people, they're already filtering out keywords. So if you don't even have GCSE as a keyword in your
It's a
CV,
required
then you're
field,
already
right.
not going to be seen to even like be considered.
Yeah.
That is
That's
crazy.
hard.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get even deeper now, man. I say it's deep, but I'm just thinking about all the little intricate things.
Yeah. I thought about doing
TV,
it.
stuff
TV,
like that.
No TV.
Yeah, 'cause it doesn't sound like you had
Nothing.
a TV.
Nothing.
So you've walked in now, and there's this screen, and there's
no
a,
TV, bro.
there's a person on it. Like,
yeah.
like that must have been like a bit of like a surprise.
Well,
to you.
no. We've seen some like we used to watch like nature documentaries and stuff like that growing up. Like,
Oh, okay.
but we didn't like have a TV in our living room or anything like that. Like, there
Where
was
would you
no
see the
TVs.
nature documentary?
Well, like, we'd get it up like a projector or like a big screen, and then like we'd
You
all
know, in
just sit around and
school when
watch
it's a
it.
supply teacher and they roll in the tin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that.
Hey,
Like,
yes.
literally like that.
Yeah.
What's that thing, man?
they
You wouldn't know it, but I don't think you would.
they
What's
roll-
the thing?
What?
It's like they had like you had to put it on and they had like the light.
Yeah, the
Oh,
old
yeah.
the overhead
projector.
projector.
Overhead
Was that what they
projector,
called it?
yeah.
Overhead
Oh, that's what I mean.
projector.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
roll
But
it
you
in on
brought
when
me
you
back to that.
Hey, you knew that was a good
Science.
school day then, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it you were limited to what you were allowed to watch because in case
Yeah.
you were influenced
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
outside
yeah,
world?
by the outside world.
And that's why it was only nature because
Yeah.
you were in a
'Cause,
farm
yeah.
and
Yeah,
It's-
because you
yeah,
can't
it's
get
nature.
anything from
so
it. Yeah.
do you remember the first thing you ever watched on the outside world TV where you were that sticks with you?
I remember when I left. Yeah, I was staying at Joe and his dad's house.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Friends. For some reason. I just watched loads of Friends.
Fair.
Binge watch that shit, mate.
Yeah, man.
Funny.
Do you
Yeah.
now have a favorite show?
Friends.
Don't know. I go through them. Like I have one that I watch for a while.
Do you feel like you're kind of like playing catch up a little bit with like
Yeah,
shows and
definitely.
stuff?
Yeah.
I had so much
Like,
catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So much catch up. Like everyone talks about like obviously like in day-to-day life, everyone like brings up like things from
Little
the TV.
references,
Yeah,
of
little
course.
references. And you're like, mate, I've got no idea.
Straight
what
over your
you're
head.
on about.
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
literally.
yeah, it's mad.
Is your personality today what it was 16-year-old Ethan?
Probably, yeah.
You
Yeah, I
haven't
wouldn't
changed.
say-
Your personality hasn't changed much.
I
You're
mean,
still
yes
curious.
yes and no. Like, I didn't have no confidence when I left. Like, it took a while to get you to even get that. Like, I
Yeah.
was just like, what am I doing here? I don't. It was like I don't know what to compare it to. It was like trying to play football with a load of footballers who've been playing all their life, and you'd never played
That's a good
football.
way. That's a
before.
good way to
Yeah.
describe it.
Right.
No, it's a good
Okay.
analogy.
Great
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got
Yeah.
no tools, sort of thing.
That's mad.
So yeah, just
So you had to discover
picked it
yourself.
up as a
You had to discover yourself again.
100%.
It's like it was like your newborn.
Yeah, it was weird
Yeah.
because I never really got the choice to do anything growing up, and all of a sudden I'm allowed choice, so I could do what I want.
Do you think that plays a part in how you make decisions and
Yeah.
stuff now, today?
I don't
Are you
know.
more impulsive or like you never know?
I think
Yeah.
I'm actually finding myself now. Like I just do what I prefer, to be honest. But for a long time, it was like, what is the right thing to do and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's hard to describe, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm.
Coming out, because it must be you. I suppose it's like when you go to uni or when you first start clubbing, like you're
Yeah,
under your
exactly
parents'
that.
like guidance for so long,
Yeah.
and you
don't
know
even
right and
how to
wrong,
function outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I can test the waters a little bit
yeah.
doing this or
Yeah.
doing that, and you do,
Yeah.
and then you realize actually
Mm.
I don't like that or I do like that, whatever it is.
I just thought of something. You guys didn't drink any alcohol there.
No.
None.
So you,
No,
None.
Like,
None.
I didn't think
Not
that's
even like a wine.
Yeah,
Even
like
Jesus
a little,
drank
like,
wine, bro.
potatoes or something.
Well,
like
yeah,
that,
they
like-
did have like a communion thing that they did every
Yeah.
week. So you drink like one sip. It was, it was nothing.
So what? Yeah, take us through that. So you
So,
came
yeah,
out,
like, what?
your first
First
experience
time.
in
Yeah,
like
yeah,
drinking.
Getting on it, yeah. I did have a few nights, mate, where I was like,
I can imagine you went wild. I can imagine
Yeah.
this was like, do you know
Literally.
what?
I did go
I've got
off the
to catch 'em
rails
up
to
to
be
it.
fair for like
Yeah.
a year. Like,
I'm
it's
not even
bad.
surprised, man.
That's jokes.
Yeah, man.
That's
it's-
So
What-
tell us, first time you had
Yeah.
an actual drink.
What was
and
it?
what
Do you
was it?
remember what it was?
I think it was like a bit like it was Joe's dad, yeah, and he took me to this like microbrewery place. So like brew like it's really weird like beer. It tastes like bitter as anything. I hated it at first, but I just kept on drinking.
Yeah.
Man,
Was
nearly put him
alcohol-
off in the first one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't worry, his was very nephew, so
Yeah, true.
Oh.
I like that stuff right away, mate. I was like,
Oh, bro,
I don't care how it tastes, man.
I'm drinking it.
More.
I'm drinking it. So you got drunk, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got drunk on like your first drink. I don't know how it works. And you haven't
Literally,
drunk
mate.
for so long.
You
No,
would
I
do.
did. I was such a lightweight at first.
And then like, so how was like being drunk for you?
In this
It
new
was
world.
just,
In this- yeah, it must have been,
it was
like,
weird,
different.
mate. It was
Yeah.
it was so weird. I didn't know what to make of it, to be fair.
and then the hangover the next day. Were you
The
like,
hangover was
this
peak.
is
He was like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
hell
it
is
was
this?
yeah, I'm
Am I
not
gonna...
doing this again.
Am I gonna die, mate? I thought I
For
called
real?
the doctor,
Yeah.
mate.
Probably
I'm
did.
gonna
Nah,
die.
he probably thought, am I going to die?
Yeah, what is
He
this?
woke up this morning, his head was pounding. Yeah, he said, what the...
Body's aching. Am I
Yeah.
at death's door?
Oh,
You know, I
man.
always been like, it's nice to like maybe like experience because we're talking about it because we've been
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
this
Yeah.
for
For
too long,
years,
probably.
yeah.
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 But like when we're kind of living through that,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You probably had your
that
first time when
first
you were like
time.
12 or
Yeah.
whatever. Like.
and there's obviously you never get it back, obviously. But it's
No.
nice to kind of like think about. Like, imagine if we could like relive certain
Yeah.
things.
Mate, there's loads of stuff that I still have never tried.
I
so
can
I'm
imagine,
like-
bro.
What's
Yeah,
the, what's on
imagine.
the top of your curious list
Mm.
that you
I
want
want
to
to go
try?
traveling. To be
Mm.
fair. Like, I want to.
I think you should.
Yeah.
That's a big
Definitely.
world.
And you've got the personality, you've got the character for it, you've got the bravery clearly
Yeah.
for it,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You meet and experience so many things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good
Where's on the
shout.
top of your list? Where do you want to go? Travel to?
I like America. I really want to check out America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Australia as
Sean.
well.
Sean
I
will
want
take
to
you.
do all of.
Sean will take you.
I want to do all of it, like
Yeah.
Europe, even East Asia, like
Mm.
Do it,
Nice.
all
man.
of that. Man,
Do
that
it.
would be sick.
Do it.
Thailand.
Have you ever
Yeah.
been away?
Not out of Europe. I've literally never been out of
I
Europe.
know you've been Lambay, obviously.
Yeah. I go
But
there,
anywhere
yeah.
else other than that?
No.
Where's,
Since I've
sorry,
left,
where's Lambert?
no.
Lambay's
Why do you-
island.
Oh, cool.
It's an island near
Island. Okay.
island
Yeah,
next to
island
island.
next to island.
Yeah, it sounds dumb. That's the only place you've been,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You got some.
Yeah.
And do you know? And I'm saying it like I'm excited for you,
Yeah.
genuinely,
Yeah.
because like, no disrespect to anyone who's obviously in another situation or in the community, wherever it is, but like, there's such a big world.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so much to
Yeah,
see. There's so
literally.
much to learn.
Mm.
I'm gonna call it, and I might get cancelled, but I think you'd be doing a disjustice to life, to your own life, in my own heart.
not
I
do-
think
yeah,
so.
to
To
not-
not do
not
it, yeah,
make
I'm
the
gonna
most
call
of
it.
Agreed.
I
That's what I
believe
feel
so. I
like
think you'd be
now,
doing a
yeah.
disjustice.
I've got
Yeah.
a question that we haven't touched on. So, it's going back a bit, and it's now relationships and like
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
family. Like, so
Yeah.
obviously your parents and together, but so within the community, did you have to date or find
You
a
had
spouse
to-
within the community? And then
Yeah.
now that you've moved out, like what?
Yeah, so in the community, you weren't allowed sex before marriage.
Yeah.
They're very strict about
Mhm.
that.
Why's your face like that, Sean?
Well,
I thought I heard
Isn't that
something.
normal?
Yeah, what?
I thought I heard something.
I thought that's normal.
I thought I heard the door.
Don't make your face like that.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, why are you? Oh, you see? I thought I heard something. I was like, oh, what?
Don't you know why your
But
face
anyway,
is
yeah,
like
so,
Yeah.
so no sex
Some of
before
us
marriage.
still believe in that. Yeah.
Very strict. Yeah. So what was? But is that like?
So strict, yeah. So like literally, if you, it's mad strict. Like, but you got to marry someone that's like there,
Okay.
grown up
Already
or
there.
whatever, yeah.
so what
In
if
your
you,
community.
Yeah.
What if you met someone
You can't
outside,
make- yeah,
brought
you-
them in,
Oh yeah, if they
and they were
came
happy
in-
to convert and
They were
yeah,
converted.
yeah, that's cool as
then
well.
You,
yeah,
then you
okay,
can do
cool.
that, yeah.
Do you get to choose?
Yeah. You're
Oh,
allowed
thank
to
God,
choose.
man.
It could be
Yeah.
anyone.
Luckily, you're allowed to choose
Cool.
Yeah.
And is-
Okay.
As long as they're willing
To
to marry.
follow
you,
your
yeah.
ways.
and is the expectation you have to get married?
No,
There's
you don't,
some-
you don't
some-
have,
obviously there's a
you
lot of
don't
pressure
have
on,
to, but,
You know, marriage and things like so.
I don't know. Yeah, there is and there isn't. Like, I think they do want everyone to get married
Okay.
so they can have more kids.
I'm
Cool.
asking
And-
I'm asking
sorry,
a
and
question,
leading
but-
on.
I
so-
would ask you,
Oh.
think were you kissing some girls then, in between
You wanna know the
1
daddy
a.m. 6 a.m.
Naughty, naughty.
the working hours, like that was, obviously, and I'm letting you finish it, Wanda, but like
Exploring.
you've
You
been,
got to explore, innit?
yeah. It's like, how are
you're
you
curious.
like? Obviously, you see a girl you like. From what I understand, you're only really going to get time to maybe talk to them at work or in the communal
Meetings.
ceremonies
Yeah.
parts. And then then what happens? Like
you sneak around?
Yeah, what
Yeah, you
happens
can
here?
sneak
around the
about, but
farm.
if you get caught, like you get in major
Done.
trouble. Yeah,
Hey.
you're done.
Is that punishment or is that consequences?
I don't know, both.
That's
mate,
both. Okay, we're getting some real.
That's
Like,
what?
that's
Yeah.
punishment
That's
and
punishment.
consequences.
Like, I think,
Because you don't believe in things before marriage.
Right.
Yeah. I think there is a rule though. Like if you actually like touch a girl, yeah, or like you basically got to get married. Like it's
Oh,
it's
that's it.
must, Yeah.
When you say
got to
touch,
get
you mean
married.
just like
Anything.
tap,
Just like
tap her bum?
anything, yeah,
or-
literally
You
anything.
can't even like give a little.
No.
So if you get caught, you're forced to marry.
Yeah,
them.
you're forced to
Oh,
marry.
What do you
them.
swear.
mean? A little
Oh, man's
what?
gonna tap and you say get
Yeah,
married.
yeah,
Hey,
A little
man
what?
can't even bust a wine,
On
you
the
know.
bum?
Literally.
No,
Hey.
I'm just saying, like a
And
little
bum.
like tap on the back.
Back or bum?
Hey, man can't even
Tap
bust a
on
slow
the
wine.
back.
That's
thing.
quite low
Hey.
from a back.
My hand, I'm sat down.
Right.
Anyway,
That's
Weird,
mad
man.
though, man.
so wait, you couldn't touch girls like at all? We're talking,
Well, like you can hold hands, maybe like.
and you're saying that like you're pushing and
No,
that all
yeah,
both.
that's lies.
because like they do dancing, like so,
Oh,
so
okay,
you
cool.
hold
Oh,
hands.
in that
dancing,
in that
yeah,
scenario,
You
you
can't
can
kiss
hold
or
hands.
No, you can't kiss. You can't kiss.
See,
shit.
Little things like
So, like- so,
hugging.
Like even when like the couples do go through like their because they do like a waiting period where they call it a waiting period, and like they're basically like just talk to each other for ages for like until they like find out if they actually want to get married. If they decide they want to get married, then they're allowed to like hold hands. But that's the most they can do. They're not allowed to kiss till their wedding day.
that is
So yeah.
They're
not allowed
a
to kiss
bad
till
kisser.
their
You're not
wedding
gonna
day.
find out until
Exactly, man.
They're bad
until you're
everything.
stuck.
What yeah, what
in
if they're
the
bad
grand
in
scheme
bed?
of things, what does that matter if they're a good kisser in a marriage?
But you know what I'm
We're
Well,
saying?
looking,
yeah.
we're looking at it from like a Western
Of
point
course
view.
we are.
Yeah,
Of
I
course
think
we
they're
are.
We go
really
back
strict
to-
about stuff like that as well. Like they think the only like purpose of sex is to have kids.
the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
So they're
Yeah.
not.
So they
That's
wouldn't
like
care.
animals, though, isn't it? Like they only have sex to
Nah,
to
bro.
reproduce.
Nah,
Yes, they do.
bro. No, they don't. No, they don't, bro.
Yeah, I reckon. So.
Letting you know. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yeah, I
They're
hear
trying
that,
to
mate.
reproduce.
Nah,
I don't mean
bro.
they're good at every time.
Nah, orcas don't do that, but they're great though. Orcas do it for fun,
some, but and dolphins.
and and
Wow.
dolphins, and I'm pretty sure lions do it for fun too, bro.
So
Go
to
left.
carry on from my point, yeah,
Yes.
on. So obviously it's expected that you're to get married, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
For the thing. What about same-sex relationships
No,
and things?
they're well against that. Yeah.
Cut off.
Oh, yeah,
And what
cut
is
off,
that?
mate.
And what happens if-
Consequential
But some people get urges and
Yeah,
some
man.
people are different. So what happens if like,
There's no
that's found out?
consideration.
Nah,
For that. Literally, they say like if you're gay, like you got something wrong with you.
you
Or,
got to
like,
get out. Or,
yeah, or you're basically going straight to hell. Like,
Yeah. And to be honest, what we'll find is a lot of cultures would probably, if we're
yeah.
being real,
I think all
like,
cultures-
the
A lot of
Bible. I'd
cultures.
say the Bible probably does say that.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I think
like,
all
there's
religions
proper-
actually
proper
do.
strong
and
against it.
they probably may not so much now, but they probably do promote that and push that quite
Yeah.
a lot.
Funny enough,
So-
I did read the Pope came out saying that he's gonna now be cool with
allowed
that.
gay
Yeah.
marriages.
Which I mean, I get, but then I'm also like, but bro, you've been like bigging up the Bible for so long, and then now you can be like, oh, because like the world's
It's a bit
changing,
mad,
let me
yeah.
do that. It's kind of like going back to this,
The cancel
you
culture.
know,
Yeah, man,
cancel
Man, they're trying to
culture
cancel
thing,
the
right?
Pope.
It is a bit of a cancel
Yeah,
culture
it
thing,
is.
like because bro,
Yeah.
if you believed in that in the first place,
Yeah.
Pope people don't come
Yeah,
after me.
What is that saying about your belief? though?
Correct.
Yes. Because
What's that
do we
saying
not
about the
believe? Do we not believe that your belief can change?
But then if it's written, then it kind of can't to some degree.
But it was written when?
Exactly.
Years and years and years ago.
So it's almost like why then hold it in such
High
structure
regard.
and such
Yeah.
rigidness
Yeah.
when it suits you,
yeah.
because at the time it did.
Mm.
But then now when it may not suit you, it's like, oh, okay, maybe we'll. And this is why, man, I'm getting deep, man. This is why as well I'm a bit like,
Go
bro,
for it.
like.
Liverpool lost.
Hey, listen,
Deep, go
guys.
on.
Oh, this pod's not about that. This pod's not about
Do
that.
it. Go
This
for it.
pod's
What
not
was you going
about
to say?
that.
Go on.
No, because we've got a bit of time left. So, because we're talking about the relationship thing, I'm gonna ask you, Ethan, man, and I want some truth.
Oh, he's gonna put you on the spot, man.
Did you have a girl there?
No,
Nah,
no, mate.
bro, you're a good-looking guy. Don't give me that,
No,
bro.
I
Don't
didn't.
like none of the girls are trying to touch you and make you have to marry them, kind of
no,
thing.
we had like
Yeah, but then you
like
knew
young,
the trap.
Like young, like we did have some like interactions, but we got in major trouble for it.
Ooh.
Like every time.
Tell
like, we
us.
got
Go on.
major trouble.
Elaborate, please.
Spill
Like
the
they keep me
beans.
in quarantine, like literally.
Because
locked
you
down
were
in my
getting the
room.
girls, huh? You see this
Yeah,
guy?
man.
Like, he's trying to play it
I
down.
had,
I
to,
know
I
it.
had to, like, yeah, like my dad would lecture me for hours, mate. I mean hours.
I
you
bet.
I mean hours.
What do you get caught doing?
It was
What do
so
you get caught
peak,
doing?
bruv.
Bro, he had like
Can't
3
lie.
chicks
Nah, I don't
around
wanna
him.
hear
He's
it.
like, what? He's like bakery. He's like, what are you doing?
I got some dough for you.
Oh,
Hey.
man.
Were your parents recruited into the cult?
Yeah,
Community.
Yeah,
or
so,
were
so
they...
my mum met when she was like 21, and then my dad met. No, my mum was 20 and my dad was 21.
And they
they
were
met-
already in the community? Or...
Yeah, they both joined the community and then they met there and married.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Do
So
you-
your mum and dad are like real
Yeah.
Proper, yeah, they're
believers.
the OGs.
Yeah.
So do you know how they kind of like got recruited, if that makes sense? Because it's something I've always been interested about. Like, how does it happen?
Mate, people like it's normally people that are like struggling in life that
Right.
actually accept their way of life because they're like they're at whatever, they're at rock bottom anyway, so they're like whatever, like
Right.
I'll do anything at this point.
Yeah.
And like my dad was he was in a band, he was like busking, and that's where he met the community. Like I think they send out like walkers to like recruit people. So two of their community people came like by and started talking to him, and they're like, "Oh, you should come back for dinner." And he was like, "Yeah, why not?" So he came back for a meal with them, and then after that, he was like, "Yeah, this is where I want to stay."
Damn.
I've,
Crazy.
I've,
he'd
I've
have,
always
like, he'd
wondered
have
that.
A
What
bit of a
happens?
mad life. Like he's diabetic and he's doing like a lot of drugs and stuff like that. So that sort of sorted him.
So it
sorted
kinda
him
saved
out.
him in
yeah. To be
ways.
fair, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
you don't know where he would have ended up if it weren't for that.
Of
But,
course.
it's like that for him. I think my mum was the same. Like she met them at the festival, and she was just like, "Yeah, like I like this way of life. I like these people."
And dropped
Amazing.
everything.
I
and
dropped everything.
Dropped
yeah,
literally everything. And went.
Yeah. No, like they're not really allowed contact with family either.
You-
Like
doesn't
it's,
sound
it's,
like
it's
it.
really controlled.
Yes.
So when you think of it on that side of the coin, it's probably saved and helped.
a lot of people,
a lot of people.
100%.
There is good
and
and
there's
bad.
people
Definitely.
that don't
Yeah.
have the community
Mm.
feel
Mm.
that have now got it.
Yeah, people that ain't got a family, mate. It's perfect for them. 'cause,
I think the difference comes when you choose to be a part
you're
of
born
the
and you're born
community
into it,
and
yeah,
you're born
100%.
into
Well,
it.
everyone needs a choice, mate. At the end of the day, like no one's gonna just grow up being told what they've been told and think they're gonna
Yeah.
obey. Like the more you tell a person to do something, the more they want to go against it. That's always what I found. Even with me, like whatever advice I ever got, I wanted to do the opposite.
Okay.
There's never a time when I was like, yeah, that's good advice. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
And you're not the only one, man. Even not being
Yeah.
from where you grew up, but just outside world as well. It's interesting you saying that because that is the truth.
Yeah.
You know, people we're made for choice,
Yeah,
technically,
100%,
right?
yeah.
Why would otherwise be
and,
robots?
and even if you're gonna make the mistake, the only way to learn is to make the mistake yourself. and then
Correct.
Keep on going. Yeah.
And I suppose
Correct.
probably one last question from me. I don't know if it's the
I got
last.
one more as well.
Yeah.
Hey, no, bro. Listen, let's
We
go, man. Let's go. Keep going. Go on, guys.
I could kind of get your answer from what you've said and the experience you've said. Would you ever go back?
I thought about it. Like, there's a possibility I could. I mean, I think it's a good place to bring up kids, but it isn't. It isn't because like if the kids want a choice, like they ain't got a choice to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like it's a nice life. It's away from society. Like shit happens out here as well. Like
Yeah.
it's not all rosy.
Yeah, fact.
A lot of bad
Like,
stuff happens out
Yeah,
here.
so like to be fair, I did have a good upbringing. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't bad.
And you're
at all, mate.
safe.
Like I'm safe. I'm
You're
safe,
safe.
from like drugs, alcohol, like everything, mate. I'm safe from
No, it's
everything.
true.
Yeah.
Literally,
It's true.
I'm a virgin to everything. So
Literally.
literally.
And what one thing have you seen now in the bigger world, let's say, that you've been like, the one thing that stands out to you? No, I don't like that.
Well, I don't like that. I don't know.
He's going through his list now.
I know you said like drugs and alcohol and things like that. So I'm assuming that would probably be one of the things that you think.
Nah,
actually,
he's
in
come
the
out and he's seen
community-
like, why is everyone like
I
just
love
like
drugs.
fake and stuff now? Like, he's probably thinking, what is this? I'm just guessing. Okay,
I-
council
anything-
culture can
anything
come
that
from
comes
your
to
angle
mind.
for.
If
Council
not,
culture
then
coming from your angle for.
There isn't one thing that you think
What,
actually the
that's
community life was better for
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
aspect.
Well, I think like materialism is a big thing. Like a lot
Mm.
of people are so materialistic these days, and like that definitely
Facts.
wasn't a thing. Like they just lived on the land. They just
Yeah,
did
Amazing. I
did
love that
whatever they
answer,
want.
yeah.
And like also like social media, people get too consumed in that shit,
Facts again.
and like they don't know how to have a normal conversation anymore. Cause
Yes.
My guy,
Mate,
man.
that's all. Like growing up, we always like we had no phones, so we would make fun things to do. Like
Yeah.
we do fun things.
Literally
And
relied on.
I've found that's a lot lacking. Like
Yeah.
people don't have a social life, mate. Outside,
Do you know what?
We could talk
I
about
would envy that as much as
Yeah.
more, but like I said,
Yeah.
because we grew
like,
up in a certain time,
in that
we
in that way,
experienced that.
in that way, you're forced to have a social life
Yes.
because you're living with the people that you're
Mhm.
every single day in, day out.
I think that's a great
And then
answer.
when you come out here, like people ain't about just having social life. They're only about like, what can I get from you? Like,
What can I get?
what can I get?
What can
Do you
I
know
get?
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all
Always that,
yeah, it's
and
always,
it's a very
what am I
toxic.
benefiting from you?
Yeah, it's a very
We
toxic
spoke
way.
about that.
We did
Yeah,
speak
we
about
did
that.
speak about
We
that.
have spoken about that.
Yeah. So I got one.
Right.
So
Go on,
you
go on.
touched on your dad. Obviously, you had diabetes and stuff and things like. We didn't really touch on like medical and like hospitals and things like that, and whether you
Yeah.
accept help from
Yeah,
like
yeah.
outside, like a
Yeah,
hospital.
they
or
go
something
to
like
the
that.
hospital.
Okay,
I think
cool.
like, to a large extent of it is like they try to find like home remedies. They're
Okay.
all about natural
Yeah,
healing.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
So if someone has a problem, like they'll try to figure it out with like herbs and stuff like that.
What if like someone broke their leg and stuff?
Yeah,
Would you
then
take
they
them
go straight to
Okay,
hospital.
cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So you still did rely on
Yeah,
some
yeah,
technology
yeah,
for stuff.
yeah,
Okay,
100%,
all right.
100%.
That's
Interesting.
a
Yeah,
very
actually,
good.
That's a
Yeah.
very good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Because some people don't. I think there's some religions
They
that
have to.
even if it's like, say for example, a woman.
That must be mad.
Yeah, you won't let a woman touch or treat someone
Yeah.
because in their eyes and in their culture, a woman's not qualified enough to do what a man is going to do.
Really?
So that's
What like nurse doc like
yeah,
like a
as
female
in like a doctor.
She
you
won't know
you
what
can't
she's
be a
doing.
woman and be a
basically.
doctor.
Yeah, she won't know what she's
Yeah.
doing.
That's a
Basically.
bit
Yeah.
weird though, because most women are better than men at that stuff.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm glad you say.
She didn't want to get cancelled. But you're fine. Oh, but listen, Ethan, man.
Yeah.
And I know this is between all of us, man. Thank you for coming on. This has
100%.
been
Yeah.
Good.
so educational, so eye-opening. And listen, man, like we're all rooting for you.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
100%.
Genuine.
Yeah.
Like want you to do well, want you to see the world, want you to find whatever happiness is out in the world for you, my bro.
Yeah.
Come
Definitely.
back on if you
Yeah.
can.
Sick, man.
Yeah.
Come
I
back
really
on.
like it, man. It's
If
good.
we've got more
After your
questions.
first holiday.
Yeah,
all that.
yeah, we want to know
I'll give you a
more.
little-
After you
Yeah.
go crazy,
backstory.
come back and tell us.
Unless you don't go on holiday.
Come and tell us how that holiday was.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because that's going to be such an
It's gonna
eye-opener.
be a movie.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
a movie,
Remember when we went on holiday and we were like 20s, bro?
bro. Insane.
I think we should all do a holiday. Man.
Hey, I still got that youth in
Phil,
me.
okay.
Hey, Liverpool lost. Let's go tonight. Fuck it. Let's go tonight.
No, but also you are our first guest.
Yes.
Yes,
Like,
you are.
Yeah.
actual guest on the show, and
Yeah.
you've set the bar so
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you. That's
Yeah,
been
no, it's been
amazing.
Good.
I've loved that.
Honestly. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you again soon. You know the Instagram. You know what it is. YouTube. Subscribe, share, comment. Come on, we're doing good things, but we're going to need you to be involved. So yeah. Peace and love, everybody.